you can see why folk were giving it all the when you buy Tammy Abraham of Wish, because he just doesn't.
The big one for Ben, Dunfermline's business. Kyle McDonald coming in from Airdrie. Scott Banks, as you mentioned, from Crystal Palace. And Kyle McDonald loaned out to Airdrie, and Gabby McGill going down to York City. Give us your reaction to that.
Well, I mean, it's actually turned on its head a wee bit just in the last 24 hours, pretty much as well, because we've got Craig Whiting signing a pre-contract ahead of the summer, and Vitas Gaspuitis.
I cannot wait to hear you say that name over and over in the coming weeks.
I said it's something with that signed for Hearts in the mid-2000s.
No, but that's a weird one. That's come right out of nowhere. Apparently, it's something to do with ex-Lithuanian defender Andres Skerla. He was kind of doing the scouting for this one because he's based, obviously, in that neck of the woods. So he's kind of acted as a scout for us and put his name forward to us, and we've signed him. Apparently, he can play now and he needs to get a visa or something like that. But as I said, it's just about left field and really didn't expect it. But one of those ones. Craig Whiting as well, coming for Hearts will be in the summer. They'll know what to loan him out to a direct rival, and I can kind of understand that. Unless they probably open the gap up to like 18 points or something like that, they'll maybe then consider it. Kyle McDonald coming in, another kind of long-term project for a fullback. He's going to get loaned out to Airdrie when they start their season again, so it'd be good for him to develop further and potentially get a promotion with Airdrie since they're up that end of the league. Scott Banks, very talented player. He's shown a lot for Crystal Palace's under 23s, and their fans were actually claiming for him to get involved in the first team squad, but hasn't turned out to be like that. He's come over to us because he wants to kind of get first team football and be involved in a promotion battle. So positives for us. He looked all right last night as well against Raith Rovers. Didn't quite get involved a hell of a lot, but he was certainly on the ball and looked better than Dom Thomas has, for example, in the last couple of months. So it is a bit an improvement for us. But I think our main bit of business in the January window was Aaron Comrie signing a contract extension, because been one of our best players since Stevie Crawford signed him back in like the summer before last. He's just been a very consistent player at right back, and proved once again last night with a top class performance and grabbing a goal as well. So it's been a good window for us. It was quite frustrating on deadline day not seeing a striker actually come in, and we're not going to see one come in until the summer anyway, but hopefully we'll have enough. The squad was decent before this window anyway, and we've strengthened it with a couple of attacking signings as well, so can't really complain.
Hearts are next, Ben. Gary Mackay-Steven coming in, Aaron McAnuff as well, and Armand Nandulit. That's how I'm going to pronounce his name. Probably slaughtered it. Nanjuli, is that it? Okay. They've also got Gervain Castanera in as well from Coventry City. Ollie Lee going out, Connor Smith, Cammy Logan and Chris Hamilton as well. Hearts didn't really need to do a lot of business. This is probably just shoring things up for the rest of the season.
I mean, it's basically just chucking money at it, isn't it? Like they're just making sure they definitely get back up to the Premiership. And on the top of that, they've also got extensions to players like Michael Smith and Stephen Kingsley, who are key players for Hearts. So that's important for them, because they're two of the most consistent performers and very good at that. So I give them credit to those signings, because they're going to be key for Hearts in the Premiership as well as this season. The other players, I'm not convinced that Gary Mackay-Steven will actually be that decent. I really am there. I think even though it wasn't that long ago he was playing pretty well for Aberdeen, I just think that those days are kind of a bit past it. But he may go to prove me wrong. I'm very impressed by Nanjili coming in, though. I think he's exactly what Hearts need in terms of just a powerful forward that knows how to score goals. I saw him at Blackpool last year when I went down for one game, and he was loved there by the fans, and he scored a brace in that game. He just looked very impressive, and he's already come in and scored a couple of goals already. So he's hit the ground running, and I think he'll score he could end up scoring about 10 by the end of the season, which I wouldn't put past him.
Hearts are signing for next season, aren't they?
Aye.
So they've got one eye in the Premiership. I think that's shown. I think they've had a good window overall, and I think what Ben says, getting Stephen Kingsley and Smith tied down, is excellent bit of business.
And to round off the podcast, Ben, it's over to you, and you're going to have to talk about your rivals, unfortunately. Raith Rovers. Timmy Abraham, that's Timmy Abraham. I nearly shit myself when I seen that on Twitter. Obviously, Kai Kennedy. Adam King coming in from Dundee United, and Jamie Gullen from Hibs as well, which you said, Liam, was sort of shocked you a little bit. And nobody going out for Raith, which is hardly surprising given the position that they're in, Ben.
On Timmy Abraham, he is a shocking player. Last night he was absolutely garbage. Offside more times than he had chances in the game. You can see why folk were giving it all the when you buy Tammy Abraham off Wish, because he just doesn't.
I was expecting more of a sort of Timmy sort of slagging. Do you know what I mean? But that's much better.
That's much better.
Much classier as well. Much classier.
Not better at all. No, but he wasn't great. So I didn't have much hope in him being that great. But they have brought in a load of attacking threat. Obviously, Kai Kennedy was a class player for Inverness at the start of the season. He's come in and scored a goal already for Raith Rovers and looked pretty decent. Jamie Gullen coming in, good option. Was good for them last time round. So there's experience there. Adam King's a bit of a weird one. Never really played much at Dundee United. But he's got a Championship League winners medal to his name, so there's that experience there as well. And they've also signed Ross Matthews on a contract extension on top of that. So it'll be a good window for them looking at it on paper. It's just to see if this plethora of attacking talent they've brought in can actually go out and do it on the pitch on a consistent basis. Because I think every time they've scored high in the game just after that, they've then scored either none or very little and lost the game, especially when it's been like Saturday and then midweek games. I think there's been about 6 games in a row now where it's been like one loss. So it's just about form for Raith Rovers, really. But they certainly have the talent there.